What's going on, motivators? We got another video. We got to talk about this protest at the hospital for a migrant. Let's get into this.
Some barbecue. The anti-ICE lunatics are at it again, this time blocking the entrance of a hospital in New York, all to defend a criminal migrant who has assault and drug charges on his rap sheet. DHS arresting a Nigerian illegal immigrant for overstaying his tourist visa during that arrest. He allegedly tried to use his vehicle to hit ICE.
I don't get that. Why do we go and back people who are criminals? Criminals. Why do we back those people? Don't we have better things to do than support somebody who is not a criminal? There are many of those. I've mentioned many times. We got veterans on the street. Why don't we take care of those people, right? Wasting the energy for a criminal, a drug user, a drug dealer, killing kids, killing people. What are we doing? I think we have lost our minds. The morals that we used to have, it's no longer there. People are voting. They're protesting for things that makes no sense nowadays. Zero.
Officers then attempted to punch and elbow them. ICE then took him to the hospital for medical evaluation. That's when the crazies started throwing trash cans, screaming at cops.
This makes no sense to me. Zero. Why do they keep doing that over and over again? Like trashing the streets. They burn down their cities. They do all of those things, destroy their own place. They got to come back and clean up or fix. Why? They do this over and over again. I don't understand the thought behind it. It makes zero sense to destroy your own community, your own neighborhood, your own city. There is something fundamentally wrong with those people. The way they act, the way they move. Rational people do not behave this way. Lashing out. You try to find a discord. And if you protest, protest. But they're always breaking stuff and destroying things. There's something wrong with those individuals. We know that. I guarantee some people are going to point out that he's being mistreated. It's no different from a cop trying to apprehend someone who's misbehaving in the street, i.e. a citizen, and they try to lay down and not moving. Guess what? You got to apply force. But some people are going to be like, well, the cops are acting inhumane. The ICE officers are acting inhumane. If you are not being compliant, they have to take you. I look like they're treating the gentleman pretty good. Nothing, no one's bidding on him, none of that stuff. They just take him into custody because he's illegal. From what they're saying, he burned his visa, so he shouldn't be here. He probably came in on a temporary visa. I made a video of something very similar. People going to Canada and finding out that, ooh, Canada has rules too. After 6 months, you gotta get out. But only in the United States, you cannot follow rules and regulations. Only in the United States, you cannot follow the law of the land. Every country has it. Every country. And one thing I gotta say too, I see the police officers are there. They're not really helping ICE, but in a sense they are, but they're controlling the crowd. Because I'm pretty sure New York, Sanctuary City don't like police officers helping ICE. But mind you, these are people who probably could kill someone by the drugs that they deal. Or it could have been, not this guy specifically, it could have been a criminal who probably did something, whether it be sexually or murdered someone. There is no thought to what these people are protesting. Probably should do our due diligence in researching for people before we go and protest for them. I'm just saying.
Take off your mask. Ooh, mate's gonna hurt. Ooh. You got no.
Take off your mask so that we could dox you. Take off your mask, sir, just so we could say who you are, so we could come to your house and try to do different things to you. It's absurd what's going on with the left right now.
Pause. Now, yeah. My little fake plátano. Your mama should have swallowed you. Your mama should have swallowed you. Your mama should have swallowed you.
Again, throwing things at cops. This people should get arrested for throwing things at cops. People don't understand. They're breaking rules. You're putting yourself in a bad situation for someone else who broke the rule. What are we doing? The insanity is too much for me. I cannot comprehend the thought processing behind those individuals. It is not for someone who's doing something good. It's for someone who's doing something bad, and now you're putting yourself in legal jeopardy as far as getting arrested. These people are aiding criminals. What are they going to do? Now you're going to find yourself in trouble because you're impeding an arrest. I don't understand. If you're going to protest for something that makes sense. That's all I'm saying. What's funny is they're at a hospital, blocking all entrances to a hospital. Now people who are trying to go to the hospital cannot go. And with all of that, they saying ICE is so bad. He actually brought people to the hospital with the guy. Nothing was wrong with it. They actually took the guy to the hospital. Man, this is, I don't understand these individuals.
DHS officials go on to say Okeke entered the United States on August 27th of 2023 on a tourist visa that required him to depart the U.S. on February 26th of 2024. In violation of our nation's laws, Okeke refused to leave the United States and overstayed his visa.
Again, what gives this gentleman the right to refuse to leave the United States? It is not your country. The country afforded you a tourist visa. Your time is up. Your time is up. And you got to find different ways to come in. The same guy who was the superintendent and he got removed because he's been here for like 2 decades. There is no different. Don't lie. If we were to go in another country and we overstayed our visa, guess what? They would have no leniency in us neither. They would kick you out. Like I said, I've seen numerous videos of people talking about, oh, I went in overseas and my time was up. I have to come back to the United States because no research being done. Every country has rules and regulations and laws for immigration. And if you break those, they'll kick you right back.
ICE active in cuffs. And to take a wild guess, what side do you think Zoran was on?
Hospital. You know, there are two things going on. Saturday night outside White. Comment on the incident Saturday night outside Wyckoff Hospital. You know, there are two things going on. There are some elected officials who are alleging that there was some kind of collusion between the NYPD and ICE. Secondly, there's also all of these videos circulating showing police officers using force on protesters, the use of force. There's one video in which there is a white shirt.
I wonder why they would use force on protesters if they were not engaging with the police officers. Police officers going to allow you to do whatever you have to protesting. But if you cross that line, what kind of system are we asking for? These news reporters, I don't get it. If they're breaking rules and regulations, we should just let them continue doing it. That's not how a good society works. When that happens, they have to apprehend those people.
Let me first start with the incident as a whole, and then we can get into the specific videos. First and foremost, I want to be very clear that there was no prior coordination or planning between the NYPD and ICE ahead of this incident. NYPD officers were not dispatched to the hospital to participate or facilitate an ICE operation. Rather, they were responding to 911 calls.
And we know they're not because the sanctuary state, sanctuary cities, sanctuary state do not cooperate with ICE in Democrats' states. They don't. So we know Zoran is, we know he's against it. So there's no way Bofi and Kathy Holcomb going to make that happen.
Regarding a protest outside of the hospital. And as I've made very clear that our laws leave no room for interpretation about the fact that our NYPD will not participate in civil immigration enforcement. And I've also been very clear about my views on ICE raids as a whole. I think that they are cruel. I think that they are inhumane. I think that they do not serve any interest of public safety.
Cruel and inhumane. But guess where the protesters were at? They were at a hospital. If ICE is so cruel and inhumane, why would they bring that individual to the hospital to get him checked up? Make those things make sense. They brought him over to get checked up because they are not cruel and inhumane. At the same time, they will deport him. They got to make sure that he's good. Issues that could be life-threatening. Majority of the people that they're taking out are bad people. What is this guy touting? What is he saying? It makes no sense. This is a criminal. This is what Donald Trump said he will do, to take criminals out of the country. And this guy said he's doing nothing for the good of the country, especially New York State, New York City. Oh my God, this makes no sense.
Some of the videos from the incident, I saw a video that you referred to of an officer grabbing a New Yorker and throwing them onto the floor. That is incredibly disturbing, and that is being actively investigated right now. I haven't seen the video of a white shirt with those comments that you just referred to, but I will follow up on that.
I would say too, wouldn't it be a good mayor by saying, let me look into it to see whether or not the officer had probable cause to toss this individual down, right? And we know how those videos work majority of the time. It's only a little snippet they show you. They don't show you what happened to the officer. So probably I would wait and I would hold my reservation and be like, let's see the body cam from the officer's perspective, what actually went down. These people are not on the side of law enforcement. We know this already.
He was fine. He was just whining, so he got to go to the hospital. And then when he got to the hospital, he was kicking and screaming like a 2-year-old. He threw a tantrum. I could see, Tyrus, if this was some peaceful Nigerian who had a lovely fruit stand and volunteered at their church. This guy's a drug addict with an assault rap. It's like, of all the people to stick up for, it's this guy? Really? No.
Kellyanne, here's a quote. He has yet to see these. He hadn't even seen the videos yet. I haven't seen the videos yet, but I know they're wrong.
That's what the mayor said?
Yeah, the ICE raids are cruel and inhumane. Again, it goes back. They just say things.
By the way, this wasn't an ICE raid.
And that's what I'm saying again. Democrats don't care about law and order, especially Mamdani. All he wants is a socialist state, socialist city. I'm telling you, New York's gonna implode. They got crime all over the place. They just let a whole bunch of people out. It's gonna get worse.
Yeah.
We're in a hospital because he said he was injured. And also the New York Post has a devastating report out today. Everybody should see, has the facts. Since Mamdani took over, because we are a sanctuary city, just how many people have been convicted of theft, of assault, of robbery, have been let go. They're saying they estimate over 7,000 criminals have been let go because we're a sanctuary city. 7,000. The town I grew up in. It's a lot of people. But look at the folks just in the community who have nothing better to do than to always prioritize DEI over DHS. They're actually following the lead of a lot of Democratic politicians who, Hakeem Jeffries said, go fight ICE out in the street. So here they are in Bushwick with nothing else to do. And they don't even, to your point, the mayor didn't see the video. These folks never even want to know the facts. They don't even know who they're defending.
That is a thing too. That's how they operate. I've said this many times. These people are being controlled. There is zero research to just go out there. Either they're getting controlled, they're getting paid. Some of them are getting paid, we know that. But they're blindly following a cause which makes no sense. It goes against their own values.
In this case, a guy with drug and assault charges. They don't know who they're defending. They just know they want to attack law enforcement.
Harold, I know you're excited about your Knicks. I've heard of a no-look pass, but no-look condemnment. I mean, it's outrageous.
The Knicks are going to win tonight. I live in New York City. I am a believer that politicians should always get the facts. I remember, I don't mean to pile on, but when Secretary Noman, that young lady was run over, was shot by the ICE officers there, she made it sound, she described something totally different. Mayor Mamdani would do himself credit looking at the facts here. Two, I'm a believer that ICE should not be in the business of setting policy. They should be in the business of executing on it. And the president, I think one of the things that I'm disappointed with the president about immigration is the president, I agreed with President Trump said, we get the bad ones out. You always use a different word when you say the ones, but we get the bad ones out, the ones who are criminals out. And this guy is a criminal. Jesse's right. I don't know why we would want a guy here who has assault and drug busts on his record. If you go try to be a citizen in another country and you don't behave nobly, if you don't behave with integrity, if you don't behave with a sense of respect for public safety in that country, you're not going to become a citizen. In fact, they're going to kick you out. This guy deserved to be kicked out, and the mayor should learn the facts before encouraging something different.
Facts. Facts. I've said this already many times. This guy's a criminal, and we are putting ourselves in a position for him. A position where we could go, ourselves could go to prison. What are we doing? And the same thing, if you're in another country, like Harold just said, you would have gotten kicked out. I've mentioned this numerous times. Because every country has immigration laws. It's not just the United States which you have immigration laws. I swear. These people, there's something mentally wrong with people who don't do research and they only tout what others tell them. Do your research. I encourage, if you're on the left or on the right, go do your research. I guarantee by doing your research, you're going to come back with a different mindset or different values into how you see the rules and regulations out there. Anyway, let me know what you think inside the comments. All right, motivators, if you enjoy what you've seen and heard, please like, comment, share, but most importantly, subscribe to A Black Veteran's Perspective. Stay motivated.